13-0 victories are the rarest occurrences in Valorant esports. Happening only a handful of times in history, matches like these are something special. But when you pile on the fact that Paper Rex embarrassed a team this bad, you know you're in for a treat. This specific juggernaut mushed Helen Esports into the dirt, every round getting worse and worse and worse than the last. But how? How could a tier 1 team lose this horribly? Was it really a skill diff? Or maybe Valorant has some underlying problems that need to be addressed? Well, in this video, we're dissecting every round of this 13-0 beatdown and demonstrating what makes Paper Rex one of the most dominant forces in Valorant's history. Paper Rex's comp is built around speed, and it's actually their debut match for it. Now, when I first saw them bust out the breach over the Cypher, I thought that they were adjusting their lineup because they were starting on attack first on Talon's map pick, throwing them for a loop. Teams will do this if they know what side they're starting out on. Is it defense? Well, then you might want to consider running double sentinels. What about offense? Well, then maybe a second duelist or initiator. The combinations are endless. Just dominate one half and squeeze out a couple rounds on the other. I mean, take a look at Foot's comp. They pulled it off well too. But then Paper Rex went and ran this comp several times after this match. So there goes that theory. But man, does this comp change look good on these aggressive freaks. Especially with the way they're utilizing Breach. Not running a Cypher kind of makes sense. On Pistol, this freight train is on track to run over B-site right into Talon's 3 defenders. The barrier drops, and they're off.
As here we go.
Yeah, that's just the fault line straight through. And yeah, Governor is not quite gonna get away. Okay, I thought he survived for a second.
Good job for the HP. On T.
Chill B, guys. Let's go kill it. See, guys.
Team
I can
6
smoke and go left.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Nice. One more.
Kill Jello, go see. Half
I can
HP.
heal.
Reset, chill boys. Chill.
An unstoppable force hit an immovable object. Forsaken fault lined off device flash, and both teams traded paranoias to beat the other back. Then during the intermission, Skye healed her team back to full, and Talon laid out a dark cover to secure their crossfire. But Paper Rex were persistent on taking this space, especially after losing their breach on Mound. Why was he here though? I'll talk about that later. But to break this crossfire, something cloudburst the entrance to be main, isolating both Talon members. I mean, even if someone wasn't here, they could cross, tap the door, and then pinch this Killjoy. But all of this commotion has enabled Viper to abandon her post on A and take all this free space. If the offense are fighting this hard for B, then main has to be open. And without a sentinel, Surf can find the equalizer.
It's not very well they get that kill. They open up this position, but Surf on the flank here is going to take out Mindfreak. Does get pretty low.
First, Paper Rex lost C. They pushed up B. Now, they just lost A, so they're pushing up Waterfall.
Kanan J.
What's kanan? Good.
Right side J.
Nice.
Take
You're
you
definitely
play
go.
first. I got flash.
B,
Wait, this. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Right side.
Nice guys. Bang.
My
Jay,
brain lagging.
what do you mean, bro? You're Indonesian, man. What the hell?
While it might seem like Paper Rex have paperweights on their W keys, they actually played this 2 versus 2 to perfection. When Mindfreak went down, Paper Rex basically lost the entire map, meaning Viper could reposition and come from any of these areas, or group with Killjoy for an even fight against the attackers with how much time was left. There's just too many angles to watch if they just stood there. But by forcing this 2 versus 1, Paper Rex were able to isolate the last of Talon and win the pistol. Now, don't get me wrong, Paper Rex dominated Talon throughout this game, but when you take a closer look at blowout losses like this, they each share a common theme: snowballs. More specifically, pistol rounds, the most important round in a game. When a team wins round 1, on round 2, they buy up while the opposing team usually just has pistols. But this gives the winning team the chance to feed ult points onto one agent, ensuring that they have an ultimate online, or close to it, going into the opposing team's first full buy, making the rounds statistically kind of even. Then if Talon lose that round, then it's really hard for them to financially recover. Things get out of hand, and that's what happened. On the anti-eco, Paper Rex went C, something outlawed ban, Jing grabbed the orb, entered behind their Skydog, isolating Jitboys, then Divide tossed the spike to Jing, and once the spike was planted, Farmer Brown tended to his ecos.
One enemy
Yeah, so one thing that we're already seeing, and I mean, the spike plant for Jing is perfect. He's only 1 point away from the showstopper.
With those kills and plants, Jing's only 1 point off a showstopper going into Talon's first full buy. Now, snowball or no snowball, there are 2 fatal mistakes Talon make that allow Paper Rex to start to run away with this game. And their setup isn't anything special despite Jing being close to his ult. These 3 are fighting Rebel, while these 2 are playing for info and then to anchor. In Paper X's 1-2-2, the offense wants to fight these lanes, Rebel first, with Jet dashing away with her Outlaw, and things get heated quick. Breach one-way flashes, something peeks, but spots no one. He quickly turtles into his Cloudburst, trying to dodge the incoming Boombot and High Haunt.
Here for the side of Talon as something this time is not going to have nearly as much luck.
Ay, team. You level it?
Yeah, I know.
140. Come, B guys. Asok ceiling.
Check the guy. I got it.
Breach thought that he could take the line after Odin's suppressive fire stopped, but he got put down. But Jing moved up B after losing all of this space on A. But, dude, Ban, where were you going? Your team's up 2 players, and we're fighting front B? Against an eco. Mistake number 1. Generally, Sentinel's jobs are to hold map control for their team and punish the enemy for trying to take it. Not do this. And to make matters worse, this kill has gifted Jing a free rocket launcher. By this time, Paper Rex have pivoted into B behind Satchels, Smoke, Skybird, and have taken Secret, giving his team ample breathing room to get a plant off. Now this is probably the worst case scenario for Talon, especially because Devi has sent his dog through heaven, clearing one question mark that the offense need to worry about.
Skills to cover more angles than one.
Oh, this...
And they just lost the only way for them to smoke the spike. Mistake number 2. Controller main should try to be the last players alive during retakes, as the amount of pressure they can generate with a smoke and tap of the spike is insurmountable. So Fade, you need to get in front. Now after losing main, Devi has claimed heaven, and despite dodging Jing's Boombot,
take him out. Governor has 10 health. And
there's only 2 more places the defense can come from.
Paper X, there's the showstopper.
I'm holding out, just you.
No.
One out. Nice.
Let me. I play first.
Nice! Come on, Jay. Dede bang. Got mod.
Talon know that they can't let Paper Rex keep rolling their ults, one after the other like this. At least I think, because on the following round, Omen and Raze just sprinted on long behind their nade and smoke, and were kinda careless. Without hesitating, Governor snatched the orb, backed off, just wanting to make sure Paper Rex couldn't grab it. But the offense didn't like that the defense had all this space. So after waiting out this iron level one-way smoke, there we go, that's a tier 1 one-way. The attackers used their Boombot and Dog to make it all the way into C. Breach rejoined shortly after, but this interaction right here was a sneak peek to what Paper Rex's game plan is with this Breach over Cypher replacement. But back to snowballs. Devi got the plant, farmed Surf, who was trying to do his best telephone pole impersonation, and Paper Rex cleaned up nice. And now both teams have one big ultimate online. But, Killjoy, you can't be serious. What's wrong, Teets? It rattles my brain how tier 1 Killjoy players can have setups without min-maxing their util. These molly she's placing probably don't even cover this whole lane. Surely this doesn't come back to bite her in the ass, right? With a half-baked setup, Talon are positioned like we've seen previous, while Paper Rex want to pressure front B and C this time. And with such a big investment, something is going to take his time and show us a brand new game plan. The round opens up with a Haunt lineup that I wish we had a replay system for, and Crew is ready to spam. Talon cap root with a one-way, and it's theirs. On C, Breach has flashed something on the line, and has started his own trek up B main. Sky flashes him on the line, and at the same time, something is scaled deep enough onto Mound to tap the switch, creating 2 big question marks for the defense. And with Talon pushed this far up A, Surf preemptively activates his Poison Orb, expecting a bulk of the offense in either of these 2 spots. Crew's prowlers through their one-way, Jing puts it down, and starts to sprint back to C to reinforce their new op strat. But Talon hear this. Their goal now is to sandwich the Sentinel-less comp so they can retake from multiple angles. At least, that's what it should be. If that is the case, then Talon shouldn't be dying to this op. They should be off-site.
Thing was trying to peek and get the first pick off before committing, but now they're going to commit to it.
Oh, no way! He just runs through! He doesn't even need to get the kill! What is going on?
Remember how I was roasting Killjoy for not min-maxing her nanos? Well, guess who didn't get melted while wrapping sight? Now, Paper Rex's game plan with this op was for Breach to keep his fault line charged, and as something took contact, Forsaken stunned to destroy Talon's crossfire. Look, Killjoys love to swing off their turret, so that's what this fault line was set up for. Then, Devi ripped his cabbages, exposing Talon's positions, giving Jing the green light to get in there. But also, why is Viper on site, but Killjoy off? I mean, against a comp with this much firepower, you should be totally fine to leave a side open, play retake, and then heavy fight the other. To be fair, Talon got one half of that right, but these two just have to contain and buy the extra lane time to get here. But have no fear, Talon fans, they still have the showstopper to find them an equalizer.
Doesn't even need to get the kill. What is going on?
They don't even need him. I mean, they're just getting the pick from Mound.
Oh my!
He's going to be taken out with the showstopper. And that is devastating for Governor as Paper X are shutting it down.
And while Ban attempts this impossible retake to save his team from utter embarrassment, let me tell you about my Patreon.
Freak
30 seconds.
dodges the paranoia, gets one.
Over on my page, I've published handcrafted duos playbooks that you and your friend can use to rank up. Here are the ones we have so far, and I have a lot more coming. In them, I walk you through each strat and tell you exactly what to do with each piece of utility. It's like I'm coaching you live during your ranked games.
We've seen Ban pull off some crazy
Spike
stuff on
planted.
this map.
That he has. But it's against two of the best shooters in Pacific.
I also post exclusive breakdowns, tier lists, Q&A videos, give you access to private Discord channels to talk directly to me, and so much more.
He's waiting for the trade angle, but it's not quite there. So now he has an inkling that they both of them have to be near the bend.
He's gonna take his time.
So if you've ever wanted to see more of my content that I don't post to YouTube, or rank up while looking like a badass with your buddy, check out my Patreon, link in the description.
Seeing if he can get the initial pick.
Here's one.
Talon Esports take a timeout to try and stomp out the fire. Paper X won pistol, snowballed some ults, and their economy became so stacked that they bought an op. And this weapon is so strong in this comp that Talon should have FF'd at this point. But had they won round one, things would have been much different. But they didn't, and things only get more out of hand. Last round, Paper X's plan was to let something cook, slowly moving his way up mound, taking a shot, and then exploding into an execute. But this round, they've tossed the op over to Sky and are just exploding into an execute right off the bat. This is big brain for a couple reasons. 1. By passing the sniper around, it allows Paper X to constantly change the tempo in which they play. 2. This constant change will always have Talon guessing and punish them for trying to abuse Paper X's weakness. And 3. Well, I'll show you in a second. Am I allowed to fight for space? Do I even flank? These mind games are a lot to deal with while getting bombed by a heavy-hitting double dive comp. So with the op in Sky's hand, she can quickly throw her dog and flashes for her team, turn around, and punish Talon for trying to flank and retake through that extra lane I mentioned. The round opens with Devi flashing around mound, and the attackers are off.
That play from the side of Talon, but don't really see all too much just yet as here comes Jake very aggressively.
Oh
One of the same. He's coming right at him as Forsaken's going to get the kill here at B. Meanwhile, the whole team is just on C for free.
Yeah, and I believe he did catch slight sight of Jit Boys as well, so he's just going to back out. That's good decisions.
Well, Paper X took sight in record time. I mean, maybe Talon have finally accepted that they have to play retake. But more importantly, Breach's kill right here was more than enough proof I needed to understand why and how they're replacing Cypher for him. Because Breach can flash and stun from such long distances, he can help his team take sight and later lurk and hold space, similar to how a Sentinel would. From this position, he can hear rotates coming to shoot them in the back, or spot flanks early enough for the rest of Paper X to react accordingly. But despite this excellent lurk, Jitboy somehow finds a timing to duel something one-on-one, and the rest of his team has quickly grouped up to retake in the meantime.
Now you're covering the flank. You're wondering, because they didn't cover Rubble at all, they're a little bit scared of the flank.
Can you flash later, Jason? I don't have run.
I
What the full Omen?
Chill, I got right.
What the full one pillar?
Wait.
He was pillar.
I stand in for sure. Nice, guys.
Let's go,
And that's reason number 3 why the op is so good. Not really in this comp, but instead against Talons. Look, they have no flashes. Devi was able to just sit here and farm Talon as they funneled in. There's nothing shaking his crosshair. Also, how did Cruz die to this aftershock? Did he fall asleep? It has been 7 rounds so far, and some of Talon are finally getting their first ult online, while Paper Rex are about to lap them. Was it because Talon lost pistol? I mean, kinda, yeah. It didn't help, but they've made their fair share of silly mistakes along the way. On to the Rico, Paper Rex left something on C to punish an orb grab like we saw earlier in the game, but he got one-wayed. But with that orb safe and sound, he turned his attention to B.
It's not nothing. Now it's something on this one. He's trying to dodge.
In order to avoid getting traded, something updrafted first in order to give his dash time to charge, making him look like pre-nerf Jet. In the meantime, his teammates funneled into A, took the site, planted, and then Forsaken went hunting to ensure he'd have his Rolling Thunder online for this round. Now Paper X had tossed the out back to Jet so she can work a pick with her dash, while Breach, Omen, and Sky apply pressure B and C in their own way. Now Talon set up similarly to how they play pistol, but their protocols are interesting. Because to start the round, Paper X one-wayed in Flash C, fault lined B, and Talon decided that this one signature ability was enough to dump their paranoia, paint shells, and dignity. You cannot blow through this crucial util just because Paper X stunned this line. There's nothing else following up behind it. Are we really that scared? After that overreaction, Paper X are continuing to contact through rubble, checking every nook and cranny, and when the offense gets close enough, Jet swaps the op with Sky so she can entry, and they go.
Through. As here's the Nightfall as well. See the Rolling Thunder to clear the site, so they are going to get the pick here. Another first kill for Forsaken. He keeps on picking these up. And the site is theirs. Once again, Bam trying to get this pick, but he will not be able to.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's throw everything in the garbage. Because who was that Nightfall for? Your last piece of retake utility. Was it just to spook Paper X? Well, clearly it didn't work because they still made it on site. Forsaken got one since he wasn't tagged, and his sick reposition got him a second. Now, with an Odin, an Op, and 0 confidence, what do Talon do now? They save.
Everybody else is also playing an insane game today.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not that they were being carried because they needed. It's just that Jing was always on the front line, picking up the first kills. I mean, what's Paper X's warm-up routine today? Because everybody wants to know.
Paper X have enough money to buy a yacht, a mansion, or a subscription to my Patreon. But this round might be Talon's best chance to avoid a 13-0 embarrassment. The 1-1-3 setup looks the same to what we've seen before, only this time, Surf is going to ult if Paper X head this way, forcing the attackers into checkmate. Their choices are as follows. Either force through this noxious gas with 2 here, run back to A and fight these 3 in a strong crossfire, or head into B where Talon are going to retake with the best ult in the game to do so. Now, Paper X don't know it, but they should lose this round by contacting up C with their op. But they start silent this time, something jump spotting onto the line, spotting this turret, and blasting it. This shot heard around the world should serve as a warning to the defense not to peek too deep. Remember this. So Surf spreads his pit in mourning to Timmy getting shot, and the offense being mound, but Divide grabs his last point for his cabbages. With them, Paper X could force their way in, but it won't be easy.
And that just kind of makes things feel a bit unfair, as now something's waiting for the push, and yeah, 3 for 1.
So, we ulted C to trap Paper X, and then we ran at them, while we knew they had an op. Interesting. Listen, Talon, I tried to make this video about how Valorant has a snowball issue and how Paper X won pistol, so their ults were just out of control. Which was kinda true, but holy f*** do you guys keep trolling. Here, watch something just run at Talon and win!
Kill me later.
Still.
Almost 5 on smoke.
Plant on.
One more in smoke.
I need heal, I need heal.
See.
Can you some flash?
Plant,
What the full?
come on. I need to heal.
Guys, cover me. You should plan, guys. City race, right side. Chill, I go left. Last guy, City. Nice, Ilya.
The Talon now have 3 more chances to avoid the Hall of Lame. Now, if you thought Paper X sped it up before, they're getting even faster.
Strong team. They're quite a good team. It just doesn't look like that right now because of the way that Paper X is playing. So,
I'm running out of ways to say this, but against a comp with nobody to hold space, or one as aggressive as this, just give up sight and retake. I don't know what else to say, but by fighting this hard, you're going to lose. Every time. I mean, how are Viper and Killjoy supposed to contest an exploding bird and rocket launcher effectively? They can't. Now, Paper Rex saw Raze, a Haunt, and this Omen Smoke took forever to travel and bloom, so there's 3A, and Viper's now all on our lonesome. Without a dash or satchels, it's Mindfreak's turn to entry as he teleports onto this strong off angle behind enough flashes to make a grown man blind, and his team follow suit. But Surf is still on site, saying a prayer to Leofaria, hoping to buy his team enough time to rotate and flood.
Really chip away portions of the C site.
I mean, you just can't catch a break if you're Talon.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, when you have a fair fight, some of them fire back a couple times, but it's rarely ever fair because of the speed from Paper Rex.
Well, you know that Cruz is up against the wall here, so tries to throw out.
Talon now have 2 more chances to avoid looking like clowns. But I mean, at this point, it's about saving face more than winning. After pestering C for the past 3 rounds, Talon adjusted by forcing a map ride crunch. Viper and Killjoy double charged on B, and these 3 TP'd, seized, naded, paranoid, double satcheled behind a Haunt, and then a showstopper. All of this combined utility would destroy Paper X, who've been abusing this site. Unlucky. But with sight so open, Jing decided to compensate for this lost space and spawn, died, but don't worry, something's got this under control.
It's like he saw it coming 20 seconds ago. He's like, all right, he's going to come out here with the showstopper. He's got it. He's going to get aggressive, and something just doesn't miss. He doesn't miss.
This is brutal.
Blinding. And now, I mean, you know, something's just playing with his food. Like, he didn't have to do that. Might as well, I guess, at this point. And that's going to be the end of Jip Boys. We got Ban. He's got a lockdown. He's dead. 12-0.
Man, talk about a rough half, huh? But I think at this point, Talon Esports are just pooped. Being Paper X's punching bag is a lot of hard work.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. You keep digging.
So let's just get this last round over with and get out of here, right? But is that a tier 1 team mentality? I mean, how sick would it be to come back from down 12-0 against Paper X? You can't come back down from 12-0 without being down 12-0. But from the looks of this round, it doesn't look like they're thinking that. They're formed into a 1-4 rush B strat, where Fade is going to apply pressure on C to make sure something doesn't feel comfortable enough to open the door to pinch them with the B main players. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, one window.
Hey, B,
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. You're gonna close me. Go on.
Come B, come B.
Aaron, flashing now.
Go, flashing.
Chill, boys. Chill.
1A for sure, guys.
Tarik, Roy. Wait, sabar.
1 HP, nice.
He was C.
BB1.
Okay, don't let them in blank us.
Nice. Good. Yeah.
Guys, 100% win rate, man.
This round is just a good summary of this game. Yeah, Valorant does have a snowball problem. Maybe I'll cover that in a later video. But Talon just can't make one good decision. If you're playing against this, why are you running it down? Don't you think it'd be a smart idea to slow down and abuse the fact that this team doesn't have a Sentinel? But I get it, sometimes teams just want to forget this game and go next. Do you want more Paper Rex madness? Check out this video.
Satchel out.